لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون، ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون، ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون. ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين، خاتم النبيين، رحمة للعالمين، سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد. وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الهداة المهديين، الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم ظلمهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. Indeed, the heart of Imam Sahib al-Zaman is heavy right now. And to offer our condolences to the Imam of our time, as I personally believe that he is the one who is the Sahib al-Aza, the one receiving condolences and the one mourning out of all of us the most for Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Let's pray that his heart is given relief by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordaining his zuhur, his reappearance, to be sooner. Let's remember Imam Sahib al-Zaman with his dua. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma kulli waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. Salawatuka alayhi wa ala aba'i. في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا، حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. يا رب الحسين، بحق الحسين اشف صدر الحسين بظهور الحجة. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. وعظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام، وجعلنا وإياكم من الطالبين بثاره مع وليه الإمام المهدي من آل محمد عليه أفضل الصلاة والسلام. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Indeed, the night of Ashura has arrived. And it is indeed the day of Ashura on the plains of Karbala right now. And it is a very sad night indeed. And inshallah, today's discussion will be relatively shorter than other nights. So I would like to go into a bit more of the historical details of not only the night of Ashura, but also the events leading up to the night of Ashura, up till the events that started the day of Ashura. But as we're discussing a Hussayni worldview, as we're discussing how to think like Imam al-Hussein, act like Imam al-Hussein, be like Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, and continuing the discussion that we left off last night, we know that Imam al-Hussein's mission is the same mission which is his grandson Imam al-Mahdi's mission. And tonight is the night before the zuhur of Imam al-Mahdi. If we are to be prepared, we should be prepared tonight. According to some narrations, it will be the day of Friday. According to some narrations, it will be the day of Ashura. According to some, they say it might be in the month of Dhul Hijjah. Some even say the day after the day of Ashura. But in any case, there is a high probability, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that tomorrow will be that day that we see the reappearance of our Imam, inshaAllah ta'ala. It is our du'as and our actions and how much we become like Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam that will lead to the zuhur of the Imam, inshaAllah ta'ala. But we look at what Imam al-Mahdi ajjalallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif expects from us, not as an individual only, but as a community. And this famous dua of Imam al-Mahdi that he has taught us is very important for us to look at regularly, recite it regularly, and reflect and act upon it. It is a prescription from a master doctor who knows the ailments of the world, who knows the ailments of human society, who knows the ailments and issues with every single human being, and he has given us that prescription as he goes into Ghaybat al-Kubra. What is this prescription? It is the famous dua from Imam al-Mahdi that starts with Allahumma rzuqna tawfiq al-ta'a wa bu'd al-ma'siyah wa sidqan niyyah wa irfan al-hurma. Imam in this dua, which is one of the most comprehensive outlines and manifestos for our communities. If a Jamaat, if a community, if a Shia following in any part of the world wants to align its policies with the policies of Imam al-Mahdi, this is the document. The dua. Allahumma rzuqna tawfiq al-ta'a. Oh Allah, grant us the success in your obedience. Wa bu'd al-ma'siyah, and staying away from ma'siyah and sinning. Wa sidqan niyyah, and the purity of intention. Wa irfan al-hurma, and the knowledge of what is sacred and sanctified. And the dua continues. It has advice at the personal level. وأكرمنا بالهدى والاستقامة وسدد ألسنتنا بالصواب والحكمة واملأ قلوبنا بالعلم والمعرفة وطهر بطوننا من الحرام والشبهة. This is all what we have talked about. This dua is reminding us to purify our bellies from haram, and not only the haram, even those things that are suspicious, shubha. Imam has a whole long dua there. It's not that long as well. It's something that we can memorize, even our children can memorize. It's at the most 20 lines or so. But a part of that also, besides the personal individual development, has to do with the community as well. Imam alayhi salam in one point says, وَتَفَضَّلْ عَلَىٰ عُلَمَائِنَا, and then he goes into how the ulama should be. وَعَلَى الْمُتَعَلِّمِينَ, how should the learners be? وَعَلَى الْمُسْتَمِعِينَ, and he talks about how should the listeners be. And it goes on, and it arrives at a place which is my point of discussion for today. It will not be fair if I do not discuss this part of society today. Since I have already discussed the youth issues yesterday, it is only fair, and following the manifesto of Imam al-Mahdi for our communities, Imam alayhi salam says, "O Allah, وَتَفَضَّلْ عَلَىٰ," on one hand, all of these different individuals, "O Allah, bless." When he comes to this group of people, he says, وَتَفَضَّلْ عَلَىٰ مَشَايِخِنَا بِالْوَقَارِ وَالسَّكِينَةِ. O Allah, bless the seniors of the community with two things. With two things. And then Imam continues and says, وَعَلَى الشَّبَابِ بِالْإِنَابَةِ وَالتَّوْبَةِ. And on the youths, Allah bless them with two things. Now I'll talk about the youths because it's a continuation from the discussion yesterday. The two things Imam is expecting and wishing for the youths, and this is not only a dua, but this is something that is a dawa as well for us. Not only should we pray for the acceptance of Imam's dua, inshallah, which it will be accepted, but inshallah we need to act on it as well. Imam says for the youth, two things, inaba and tawbah. returning to Allah and repenting to Allah. Constantly being in a state where, oh Allah, I have committed wrong deeds. If I have, please forgive me. But this is not only, tawbah is not only for when we sin. Rather, tawbah means to keep coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if we do something that we know has been makruh, we should ask Allah to get us away from makruh as well. That's the way forward. That's a progress. But Imam alayhi salam, even before he talks about the shabab, the youth, he has his eyes set on the mashayikh, on the seniors of the community. And here he talks about them and he says, وَعَلَى مَشَايِخِنَا بِالْوَقَارِ وَالسَّكِينَةِ. O Allah, bless our seniors with waqar and sakina. Now waqar and sakina are not names of individuals. There are two very deep concepts here. Waqar means a high state of dignity, a dignified life, a life that is full of respect and honor. And it is full of appreciation for the role the seniors play in the life of the families that they're the head of or the seniors of, and of the community as well. Waqar, dignity. It's a dignified life. They have spent their whole life struggling, working hard, supporting their children, their wife, and their spouses likewise on the other hand as well. It is their time now when they take a break or they slow down. Obviously in Islam, the concept of retirement is not the same as it is in our society. Yeah. But in reality, it is a time for the seniors to slow down in life, but in a way that we don't look at them as financial churning machines. If they cannot be that productive the way they were when they were younger, we do not consider them to be less valuable. Rather, what they have achieved is of extreme value. And you can see it here. This Hussayniya, this Imam Barga that has been set up in this community is the hard work of our dear seniors. We would not have been able to come here 10 nights in a row with ease and comfort, with this flexibility and freedom to perform the aza of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, had it not been the hard work of our seniors. We would have been in community centers or in garages or in some place, and in many of these places there are fire regulations that we're worried about as well. But alhamdulillah, they worked hard. They gave the community something to stand on. The shabab now, the youth, have the next duty. They have to take it one step higher, one step forward. But the basis of a community is a community center, is a masjid, is a Hussayniya. And that our seniors have done so well in providing. Their value should be measured with this legacy, not with the legacy of being productive financially or not. Obviously, in this part of the world, there's a pension plan or pension plans, RRSPs, right? And they have a source of income, but that is not what defines their value. Their value is because of the service they've provided to humanity, to Allah, to the Ahlul Bayt, from the time they became capable, whenever that time was, whether they became baligh or even before becoming baligh. The productivity, the service that the seniors have provided, it is more than worthy of recognition. Waqar, dignity, recognition, high degree of respect for the seniors. Brothers and sisters, and the other thing that the Imam says and prays for the seniors of the community is sakina, is a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment from life. Seniors, when they reach this level, usually in this part of the world, finances is not an issue, but it's not the case for everybody. There might be some seniors who might be even in situations that we may not realize, but they are in financial distress. It's our community's responsibility to be on the lookout for these individuals, to support them. It is a responsibility collectively. And in the eastern parts of the world, obviously, where there is no pension plan and RRSPs, obviously there, they need more help. Because the state is not there, the government is not supporting. Well, the family needs to support. It's wajib then. If the parents cannot stand on their own feet and support themselves, well, it's the children, the son's responsibility to support them, to provide for their material needs. But brothers and sisters, more than the material needs, these two needs are very important. Their emotional needs and their spiritual needs. And usually these are the most ignored. وَعَلَى مَشَايِخِنَا بِالْوَقَارِ وَالسَّكِينَةِ. This is sakina. This is satisfaction. This is peace of mind that every senior deserves and needs. And Imam is praying for this. Sakina. Peace of mind. This sakina is very important. The sukoon in Islam, on one hand, we have been talking about marriage, where Allah has made that sakina a place of sukoon. Well, for the seniors as well, there needs to be a level of fulfillment and sakina. They should feel that, alhamdulillah, their time on this earth was fruitful. What will make them feel this? If we, as children, as youth, as people who have older parents, if we leave them in situations or in facilities where their material needs might be met, but they don't have anybody to talk to. They don't have anybody to communicate with. If they're left alone, brothers and sisters, this is not sakina. This is not fulfillment. This is the emotional needs part. Children might go once a week or maybe even once a day. But, grandparents love to hang out with their grandkids. When the grandparents see their grandchildren around them, that is when they see, yes, my life on this earth has been fruitful. Because not only was I able to support my own children, now they are now having their own children. As they say, more than the capital, the profit on the business is sweeter. There's a famous saying in Urdu and in Gujarati as well. Yeah? Well, the capital that the parents had were the children, but now when they invested this capital into the business of this life, they got some profit out of it. And that is their grandkids. Well, if we separate grandparents from grandkids, we've done a big jafa and a disservice to the seniors. It's a very important part of their emotional needs. And grandkids are there for them to enjoy. Sometimes we, my generation, we dump our kids and their responsibility, and I purposely use this word, on our parents to take care of so that we can go travel somewhere or we can go take care of other chores. This is not their responsibility. The responsibility of tarbiyah is our own, the parents. Their responsibility was on us, which they performed. Now their time is to enjoy, not to police the grandkids, but to enjoy the grandkids. Brothers and sisters, this will bring sakina for the grandparents. We've talked about emotional needs now, but one of the most neglected needs of the seniors is their spiritual need. Their needs for spirituality. If a senior has lived their life on the path of Ahlul Bayt, if they are left in a part of the city or if they are in a place where they have no access to majlis or matam for the 10 nights of Muharram, imagine what goes through them. They've spent 60 plus years of their life. Every Muharram, the moment the moon, the crescent is sighted, they go for at least, in some cases, 2 months and 8 days. If not 2 months and 8 days, 2 months. If not 2 months, 40 days. If not 40 days, at least the 10 days of Ashura and 10 days of Ashra Zainabiyah. Suddenly, they're in a place where there's nothing of this. Nothing whatsoever. Imagine what goes through them. It's biting. It's bitter to not hear somebody say, Ya Hussein for them. Imagine what spiritual needs they go through. If they don't have the opportunity to mingle with the community, pray Salat al-Jama'ah together, if they don't live walking distance from the center, if they don't have somebody who can recite Quran with them or for them, sitting beside their bedside, these are spiritual needs. And we need to be aware of these. And inshallah, I pray that the community will focus its energies also on providing for the needs of the seniors. Here, it's the responsibility of the youth. Yesterday, we talked about the responsibility of the seniors and other community members towards the youth. Well, here is where the youth come into the picture. My dear youth, my dear brothers and sisters, if we really want to make our seniors feel the waqar and sakina, we need to have listening ears and a humble personality. Two things. Listening ears and a humble personality. I had this opportunity to speak very briefly with a few of the senior uncles here in this community, and I felt benefited and fulfilled by their experiences that they shared with me. With a few minutes of time. And I am sure that the wealth of experience that the seniors, even on the brothers and on the sisters' side, the aunties of the community, they have so much to share. We just need youths. We need to be humble before them. وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ. Become humble before them out of mercy. And pray for them on one hand, but also listen to them. Have the patience to listen to their thoughts, to their advice, to their experiences that they have collected for years and decades on end. And they're ready to share, but there's nobody to listen. That is something that is making them feel biting inside. That's not waqar and that's not sakina. That's not fulfillment for them. These are the needs of the seniors, and even more. I don't have enough time, unfortunately. But this is a realization that should set down on us, that as a community preparing for the 12th Imam, where he is on one hand praying, وَتَفَضَّلْ عَلَى مَشَايِخِنَا بِالْوَقَارِ وَالسَّكِينَةِ, he's expecting the other community members to fulfill this part of the dua. And it's also وَعَلَى الشَّبَابِ بِالْإِنَابَةِ وَالتَّوْبَةِ. The shabab and the youth also need to be provided the avenues and channels to be repenting towards Allah. And we talked about this yesterday. How? Brothers and sisters, we find that these points, and inshallah we'll continue this tomorrow night and the day after tomorrow when we have our last final session. Community building, community cohesion is a very important goal of the Ahlul Bayt. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. May I ask the brothers who are at the back to please walk over and come to the front and clear off the passages, the pathways, so that we have enough room, inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One more loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, I will leave you with this one hadith and then we turn to discussions on the night of Ashura. This one hadith was really a gift that I came across today. This morning as I was preparing, I came across this beautiful hadith and I thought I'll share a part of it today and then parts of it tomorrow and day after. It is a hadith that has been narrated from Imam as-Sadiq, but he narrates it from his father, from Imam Hussein, from Imam Ali, from Rasulullah. It's a chain. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And Rasulullah says, إِذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِأَهْلِ بَيْتٍ خَيْرًا. If Allah wishes for a household, and we can expand that Ahl Bayt to a community as well, right? We're a larger family. If Allah wants khair and goodness for a community, for a family, Allah grants them four things. Four things. And when He grants them, it means the community is also ready to accept it, right? Allah does not just grant and people just deny it. No, when He sees that things are ready, He grants it. All right? Number one, what does Allah do to them? فَقَّهَهُمْ فِي الدِّينِ. He makes the family or the community deeply insightful in affairs of religion, in knowledge with regards to religion. فَقَّهَهُمْ فِي الدِّينِ. And these are measurements, indicators. Inshallah, those who are economics-oriented people into these areas, we usually have indicators that indicate progress and growth or not. Well, these are indicators, progress indicators from the Ahlul Bayt for a community and a family. Measure how deeply understanding of religion are we as a community and as a family. فَقَّهَهُمْ فِي الدِّينِ. Grants them deep insight and understanding of religion. Number one. Number two, Allah gives them وَرَزَقَهُمُ الرِّفْقَ فِي مَعَايِشِهِمْ. He grants them warmth and compassion in their livelihoods within each other, with each other. Rifqa. Warmth. A community where people are cold with each other, they don't see eye to eye with each other, or a family in which people are not in good speaking terms with each other, there's no khair in there according to this hadith. When people gather, they don't sit separately in their small groups, rather they meet everybody, say salams to everybody, shake hands with everybody as much as possible, obviously, but without isolating any single person who comes into the center. Warmly encouraging and welcoming everybody, meeting everybody, whether it's the youths within the youths, seniors within the seniors, or a mix between the different sectors of the community. If there is this warmth and rifq, compassion in the community, there is khair in this community, in a community. Another indicator. So religious knowledge is one indicator. Compassion and love and cohesion is another indicator. Third one, al-qasda fi sha'nihim, moderation in maintaining their status. Not fundraising excessively to spend excessively, and not being stingy so much that you do not meet the basic needs of the community or the family, both ways. There is moderation. There is a balance. There is a good understanding of the needs and wants of the community or the family, and this is an indicator as well. And I leave you and us with this one last one, which is my main discussion for today. If there is khair in a community, if Allah wants khair from a family or a community, Allah grants them وَوَقَّرْ صَغِيرُهُمْ كَبِيرَهُمْ. The young ones of the community dignify the elders of the community. Hold the elders and seniors of the community with great respect. If this happens in a community, then there is khair in that community. If this does not happen, if the youths and the younger ones do not venerate and dignify the seniors, this shows that there is something going wrong, something not in the path of khair. Brothers and sisters, we are here on the path of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. We want to move our direction of life towards the direction of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Let's try to make an oath with Imam al-Hussein tonight that I will change at least one thing in my way of interacting with the seniors of the community. And likewise, in other aspects, seniors with the youth as well. But something has to change, otherwise coming 10 nights, 12 nights is of no use if we just listen and go back and forget everything. These are the words of the Ahlul Bayt. These are not my words. If we find in this wisdom and guidance, Allah has really wanted khair in us, that we find in ourselves the push and drive to enact and act upon these. If we say, it was a nice lecture, alhamdulillah, but we go back to our ways, then we're not going down the path of khair. Inshallah, it's a reminder for myself first and foremost that I interact better with the youth, I interact better with the seniors, I become humble before them. But inshallah, every one of us, in any way possible, needs to reform the way we deal with each other in a community. And brothers and sisters, that is the message of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. That's why he left Medina, to remind us that the true Islam is an Islam based on compassion, is an Islam based on values. And he exposed those who had no values and no compassion. He exposed to that extent how uncompassionate, cruel-hearted, and evil the opponents of Imam al-Hussein are, by the simple sacrifice of his son Ali al-Asghar. You see the height of compassion on this camp, on this side, and you see the height of evil and hard-heartedness on the other side. Today, as we commemorate Ali al-Asghar, and before I get into the dhikr and remembrance of Ali al-Asghar alayhi salam, I would like to discuss some of the events that took place from the time Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam arrived on the plains of Karbala. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, when he arrived on the 2nd of Muharram on the plains of Karbala, I mentioned earlier that he wrote a letter to his brother Muhammad al-Hanafiya, describing to him the status of the dunya, and he writes to him, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, min al-Husayn ibn Ali ila Muhammad ibn Ali, and those with him of the Banu Hashim, amma ba'd faka'anna ad-dunya lam takun wa ka'anna al-akhirah lam tazal. Wassalam. That's the end of the letter. Imam al-Hussein is conveying to us through his brother that the life of the hereafter is limitless, is eternal. It has always been there. It's this dunya that is temporal, that's temporary, that will go away. Kullu man alayha fan wa yabqa wajhu rabbika dhil jalali wal ikram wal akhiratu khayrun wa abqa. It is the hereafter that is better for you, and it is far everlasting. That's one message Imam al-Hussein is reminding us. On the 3rd of Muharram, Umar ibn Sa'ad la'natullahi alayh arrives with his army. Umar ibn Sa'ad is also from the Quraysh. He is the son of Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas, who conquered Iran and Persia with the Muslim armies that came towards Persia. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas was one of those who was on the council of 6 people that the 2nd Khalifa had left behind to choose the 3rd Khalifa. Umar ibn Sa'ad was a person who was immersed in the dunya. He was behind his passions. He did not want to come fight Imam al-Hussein initially, but he had a very soft corner for the rulership of Ray. Ray is current modern day south of Tehran. And Ray comes from the word Rayyan, to be quenched from the thirst. Why is that place called Ray? According to some, it was so fertile, rivers had quenched that land so much that it was fertile and full of bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he had a very soft corner for this piece of land called Ray. Umar ibn Sa'ad asked Yazid to grant him the rulership of Ray, and if he were to do it, then he would come on his side and fight against Imam al-Hussein. And when he was granted, he went for it. People were smart, and they're usually smart till the dunya and the passions come in the middle. When people knew that Yazid wants to mobilize against Imam Hussein, they immediately said, what are you doing? This is Hussein, the son of the grandson of the Prophet. Where the Prophet has said, Husaynun minni wa ana min al-Husayn. Where the Prophet has said, Ahabba Allah man ahabba Husayna. Allah loves the one who loves Hussein. You want us to fight him? Initially, everybody was not willing to. But here comes gold, here comes silver, here comes money, here comes wealth, and here comes status. People lose their faith. And they try to reason it out for themselves that it is okay. We will deal with it later on. And to that extent, they come to the point where they deny the hereafter and say, who has seen the hereafter? We want cash. We don't want credit. The hereafter is credit. Whatever thawab we are told we'll get later on. This, what Muawiyah and Yazid are giving us, is cash. Bring it on. It's a lesson for us as well. When we are tempted with dunya as opposed to deen, which way do we go? The Hussayni way or the Umar as-Sa'di way? It's our choice. Umar as-Sa'd on 3rd of Muharram arrives with 4,000 men. 4,000 men to the plains of Karbala. Between the 4th and the 7th, according to some historians, and till all this time, Hur is on the other side. They try to entice, between the 4th and the 9th, they try to entice two very strong pillars of Aba Abdullah to come to the other side. Who are these two people? On one hand, one of them is Hazrat Abul Fadl al-Abbas. On the 9th day, Shimr is a cousin of the mother of Hazrat Abbas, Al-Banin, salamullahi alayha. And he comes using this trump card, his wild card. He says, you know what? I will fight for your rights with the Amir, with Yazid. If you come on my side, and I'm ready to give you. And the riwayah says that Shimr comes to the campsite of Imam al-Hussein and says, Aina banu ukhti Abdullah wa Ja'far wal Abbas wa Uthman. He calls out with the four names of the four brothers. Al-Banin was the mother of four sons, right? Abdullah, Abbas, Uthman, and Ja'far. He calls out to them. They don't respond. Then Imam al-Hussein says, Ajibuhu wa in kana fasiqa. Go respond to him even though he is an evildoer. This is the etiquette, the akhlaq of the Ahl al-Bayt. When a person who does not even deserve a response, you at least have this decency of responding to their call. Imam al-Hussein tells the brothers, and Abul Fadl Abbas goes, and Imam al-Hussein says, فَإِنَّهُ بَعْضُ أَخْوَالِكُمْ. He is one of your uncles in relation. When Hazrat Abbas goes out and he sees Shimr, he says, Ma sha'nuk? What's the deal? What do you want? And he says, Ya bani ukhti, in antum aminun. Look at the wordings he's using. He is trying to endear himself to Hazrat Abbas and his brothers. Oh, the children of my sister. Oh, my nephews. You all are safe. He's not even saying, I will get you safety. He's saying, you're safe. Come on my side. Enticing with the dunya. Those who are like Abbas alayhi salam can see the dunya for what it is, and they can see the akhirah for what it is. They respond to him by saying, Ata'amuruna an natruka akhana wa sayyidina al-Husayn? Are you asking us to leave our brother and our master Hussein? And you're asking us to come towards you? They reject him in such a way, and he calls him, he rejects, Hazrat Abbas rejects him in such a way that Shimr turns away and he is very angry on the 9th. Another person they try to entice is Imam Hussein's son Ali al-Akbar. And this is through his mother Bibi Layla salamullahi alayha, Her cousin brother was on the other side as well, from the same tribe. And he says to Ali al-Akbar, they send a message and saying, you are my nephew, there's another man. I will fight for your rights with the Amir, you come on my side. You'll be safe. I don't want you to be killed. And he says, isn't our relationship with Rasulullah more important than our relationship with Yazid and with Abu Sufyan? Imam al-Husayn's two pillars of strength, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and Ali al-Akbar. How they show us in practice how to put aside the dunya and come towards the akhirah, the path of Imam al-Husayn. This is very important. Time comes that on the 9th day, suddenly the drums of war start to buzz and roll. And Imam al-Husayn asks Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, Brother Abbas, go see what's going on. And he checks out the situation and he says, Mawla, they're getting ready to attack us. He sends a message saying, tell Umar ibn Sa'd. And Umar ibn Sa'd is the leader, the commander of the other side. Shimr is his first assistant, first deputy. He says, go tell them, give us one night respite, so we may spend time worshipping Allah. For indeed my Lord, my God knows how much I love. Inni uhibbu salah. I love salat. Wa tilawat al-Quran, and recitation of the Quran, and dua and istighfar. These four things are the amal: salat, Quran, dua, istighfar. The amal that the ashab and Imam al-Husayn performed on the night of Ashur. Inshallah, today's program, Buzzing of the Bees, is based on this same amal that Imam al-Husayn performed. To that extent that the riwayat says, وَلَهُمْ دَوِيٌّ كَدَوِيِّ النَّحْلِ. Their sounds of recitation of dua, istighfar, Quran was as if it was buzzing, like the buzzing of the bees. It was beautiful to listen to. And the whole night, the plains of Karbala were echoing with the sound of the tilawah of the Quran. Brothers and sisters, tilawah of the Quran is of immense importance. And inshallah, today we will have the recitation of Juz 30. I encourage and urge all brothers and sisters as much as possible to stay. And after that, we will have a short tafsir of Surah Al-Fajr, which is the surah of Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. It is a surah that ends with the four verses that we all know. Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutma'inna irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiya fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Inshallah, we'll talk more about that after the program. But brothers and sisters, now the night has come that is the night of preparation. Just like Imam al-Husayn's army prepared physically with their swords sharpened and their horses ready and everything intact and in place ready, they prepared spiritually as well. If Imam al-Mahdi's reappearance is expected on the day of Ashura, ask ourselves, are we ready as well? Are we ready spiritually, at least, if not physically? Are our hearts pure and sincere? Are we connected to Allah through salat, through Quran, through istighfar, through dua? Are we connected? The ashab were. And when they got connected, Imam al-Husayn tested. He tested them. He said, he turned off the candle and he said, whoever wants to take the shade of the night and the darkness of the night to escape, escape. I have lifted my bay'ah from you. Go. Antum fi hil. You are free now. I will not ask you on the day of judgment, why did you betray me? No. Some who wanted to left, but the others stayed behind. When Imam turned on and he lit the candle again, he saw faces from his companions and from his family members. All of them saying, Mawla, how do we dare leave you alone in this situation? That is where Mawla tells them, He shows them their status in Jannah, each one of them at a time. He tells them, you will be in this station in Jannah. You have that maqam and place in Jannah. When these ashabs saw their places in Jannah, their state of elation and happiness knew no bounds. They were so happy, and it was reflected the next day. They were going forward and taking the swords on themselves and the knives on themselves and the spears and the arrows on themselves, because they knew that what awaits them, what separates them from this world and from getting to their place in Jannah is just death. They were ready to go forward towards death and take whatever would come their way. And Imam al-Hussein, and this is, brothers and sisters, the difference. This is the difference between the night of Ashura and the day of Ghadir. This is a big difference, something for us to reflect on. On the night of Ashura, Imam al-Hussein had the bay'ah that he removed for them to go away, but they didn't go. On the day of Ghadir, Rasulullah took the bay'ah, but people broke it. This is a big difference. And because the bay'ah taken for Amirul Mu'mineen on the day of Ghadir was broken, Ashura took place. But on the night of Ashura, Imam tested his companions. He said, let me see who's really pure. And he lifted the bay'ah and said, go. If you want, I have relieved you of your responsibility towards me. There's no bay'ah. But people stayed because they were in love with Imam al-Hussein. They were in love with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They were ushaq. They were the people mesmerized by the beauty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, on one hand, Imam al-Hussein purged his own companions. On the other hand, he purged the enemy side as well. He went out and spoke to the enemy side openly, hoping if there are people with purity in the other side as well, they would come. And they came. Not only Hur came later, 32 people on the night of Ashura defected from the Yazidi side and joined Imam al-Hussein. 32 people. And Imam al-Hussein wanted to clear the two camps in such a way that on one side is pure good, and on the other side it's pure evil. There's not a good person there, and there's not an evil person on this side. Period. Now this battle is ready. This is the ultimate battle between haqq and batil. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam showed the world till the time when the ultimate battle of haqq and batil will be fought. This is our model. The campsite of Imam al-Hussein is ready. Are we ready to be in there? The camp of Yazid is also ready today. Are we wanting to be there? The night of Ashura is our choice. Those who choose come towards Imam al-Hussein. And today we come to Imam al-Hussein by the door of another Bab al-Hawa'ij. And that Bab al-Hawa'ij is a 6-month-old. It's a door to achieving the desires. Salamu alayka ya Aba Abdillah wa ala al-arwah allati hallat bifina'ik. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. In the words of the Ma'soom in Ziyarat al-Nahiya, he calls out and says, Assalamu ala Ali al-Kabir, Assalamu ala al-Radi' al-Saghir. The salams of the Imam of our time be upon Ali al-Akbar. The salams of the Imam of our time be on Radi' al-Saghir, Ali al-Asghar. Historians narrate that when no one was left from the companions of Imam al-Hussein, when no one was left from the family of Imam al-Hussein, when there was nobody left from the Banu Hashim, Ali al-Akbar was gone, Abbas had left, Hamza and Ja'far and all of the other family members, 18 brothers altogether, 18 cousins of Banu Hashim had sacrificed themselves. Imam al-Hussein let out a final call to humanity. Hal min nasirin yansuruni? Is there a person to defend me? Or even if not me, hal min dhab يذب عن حرم رسول الله? Is there somebody who would maintain and defend the sanctity of the haram, of the family of Rasulullah? These ladies are with me. They are the sacred and sanctity of Rasulullah. هل من موحد يخاف الله فينا? Is there a true monotheist who would fear Allah on our behalf? هل من معين يرجو ما عند الله في إعانتنا? Is there a helper who would find what he hopes in Allah by helping us? Imam alayhi salam may be looking at an answer, but he was surely looking for an answer from us who are coming down in the future. Imam al-Husayn's response is in our responses. When we say labbayka ya Husayn, when we say labbayka ya Mahdi, we are answering Imam al-Husayn by saying, Mawla, we are here to sacrifice ourselves. There is one person who does respond to the call of Imam al-Husayn. According to narrators, they say that ladies started to cry out loudly from the camps of Abu Abdullah. Imam al-Husayn comes towards the ladies and he says, I am still alive. Why are you crying? The ladies say, the baby Ali al-Asghar is in our arms. Imam says, give him to me. I bid him farewell. According to some narrators, they say, Imam said, give him to me, I will try and fetch him some water. Imam al-Hussein takes him, he walks towards the enemy, he raises him to the sky and he says, oh people, if I have done something wrong to you, what has this 6-month-old baby done to you that you deny him water? Look at his lips, how dried they have become, without water, without mother's milk. Imam al-Hussein is standing, showing the baby Ali Asghar to the enemies of Allah. There is no response except crying from the army of Yazid. When they see that the soldiers are melting out of compassion or out of their feelings towards Ali al-Asghar, Umar ibn Sa'ad looks towards Harmala and he says, cut the word of Hussein. Harmala takes his 3-pronged arrow, he puts it in his bow. Here we call out to Sahib al-Zaman, Mawla, accept our condolences. The arrow sits on the bow, it is released towards Ali al-Asghar. Before it reaches Ali Asghar, it slaughters the hopes of the mother of Ali Asghar. It smashes the hopes of Imam al-Hussein. It kills the spirit of any humanity. It deprives the sanctity of Rasulullah. Here Imam al-Hussein is standing with Ali al-Asghar in his hands. The arrow comes and pierces Ali al-Asghar, as the Maqtal says, min al-warid ila al-warid, from one side to the other side. Ali al-Asghar فوقع في نحره فذبح. He is now slaughtered as a result of the arrow. Imam al-Hussein is standing with the baby 6-month-old, slaughtered and blood splattered all over him. Ali al-Asghar dies instantly in the arms of Imam al-Hussein. Ya Aba Abdullah, what patience you have. Imam al-Hussein now is in a situation. He is a mustar. He does not know what to do. He walks forward 7 times. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. He walks backwards. Ridan biqadaihi wa tasliman li amri. Oh Allah, this is a calamity, but it is easy for me to bear it. فَهَوَّنَ عَلَيَّ مَا نَزَلَ بِي أَنَّهُ بِعَيْنِ اللَّهِ. This calamity is easy for me to bear because I know, oh Allah, you are watching. Imam al-Hussein does not know what to do. How can he take the baby to his mother? The mother was expecting the baby to be quenched by the water. Where there's no water, there's no milk, but there's all blood. Imam al-Hussein buries Ali al-Asghar and he brings a cloth full of blood to Rabah. Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawmi adh-dhalimin. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi